Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do another episode of 0 to 100. I haven't done this one in a while because the life has been pretty crazy. If you guys don't know what 0 to 100 episodes are, I actually talk about my journey from the beginning. Here's where I started. I started with no money. I didn't know what I was doing. The first YouTube video I recorded, I didn't even technically really understood wholesaling all the way. But I was inviting you guys to my journey and a lot of you guys stick around and there was a lot of new people on this channel. The people that don't know my backstory, I'll do a rundown in 10 seconds. August 2020, I got fired from my job because of COVID and I started my own company with no money pretty much, and I didn't know what I was doing. I started wholesaling and 5 months later I made more money than I did when I was working at a job. But either way, so we're here right now and I'm kind of want to give you guys an update so everything that's been going on so you can see what about 5 months of working really hard on the real estate wholesaling can bring you. So in 5 months, I was actually trying to count before this video. I think I closed on about 12 to 13 deals. But it's not like any of those deals were insane crazy deals like you see on those regular YouTube pages. Probably my average deal is about $3,500, maybe between $3,000 and $4,000. And some deals that I've closed were literally $1,000. Some deals I've closed were $5,000. So it's you never know. But in the end of the day, I'm still making better money than I did when I was actually working for someone. That's just the beginning of it, because in the first probably 4 months I only closed on 3 deals, and then after that it's just been kind of crazy. I've been getting so many more deals, but because I found what I like to do and what I'm pretty good at. So I connected with a lot of builders and I talk about 1,000 times that I do vacant land more than any other type of properties, because I actually like doing land because there's so much less to do, but there's also a lot to consider. You know, some people don't know how to find the zoning of the land, the flood zone, they don't know how to find what can be built on the land and all that kind of stuff. So people just stray away from wholesaling land. And also you really need to build relationship with builders because that's very important. I mean, if you don't have builders, most of the time your land won't sell. However, the type of land that sells are mobile home lands, any land that you can throw a mobile home on. Most of the time, 90% of the time, that what I see sells anyway, even if it's a retail buyer. But that's for a different video. Maybe we'll talk about that a little more. Besides that, we actually been working on my own product. You guys may have seen this video right here, that I am trying to create my own personal brand daily planner, and I'm actually very excited for it. I'm very passionate about daily planners because my entire life I could never find a good one, and I really like planning, I really do, and there's never been a daily planner that satisfied all my needs. So I said, well, why would I create the one that I think that's gonna be perfect for everyone? Well, perfect for me, and hopefully for more people than just me. I created a Facebook page about this. There's a link gonna be down in the description. So I actually get different opinions for people that are following the product. The other day we had a poll talking about what the size of the product should be. The day before that we had a poll talking about what are the quotes that you want to be put into the daily planner. So in the end of the day, if you contribute to the daily planner when it comes out, if you decide to purchase it, you will actually see that you kind of put in your opinion mattered in this daily planner. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to see what happens. Besides that, I actually been working a lot more. I hired a virtual assistant, which was pretty interesting task for me because the first time ever I had to interview people for the job. So I interviewed probably about 10 to 12 different virtual assistants, and most of them I did not like. And I finally found a girl that she does a really good job at what she's doing, and I love it. So I absolutely hired her right away. As of right now, it's not like a full-time position. She's doing a week run for me to see how it works. I think she was gonna work out. There are certain criteria that I was looking for. Obviously, I think it's kind of maybe sounds horrible, but you really need someone with a very good knowledge of English, because living in the area that we have right now, if you call someone and you have a strong accent or you don't pronounce the words correctly, a lot of people will kind of just brush you off. They won't take you seriously. And that sucks because I have an accent and I understand how that works, and I'm not supporting that, but I definitely understand that that's a thing. I've had a lot of friends that I know that on here, if somebody calls them, if they have an accent, no matter what important thing they might be saying, they're just not gonna listen to them. So for me, it was very important to find someone with a very good knowledge of English. And pricing for virtual assistants. Pricing for virtual assistants are kind of crazy. So there are some virtual assistants that price themselves anywhere between $10 to $15 an hour, and some virtual assistants that price themselves from $5 to maybe like even $4 to $6, $7 an hour. So maybe there's obviously prices in between, but the two major price ranges are like between 4 and 7, and then they're like 10 to 15, and there's some more expensive, some cheaper, but whatever. In this thing, just like in anything else in life, is that you get what you pay for. So the cheaper virtual assistants are actually not as good most of the time. Don't get me wrong, you will have the virtual assistant that you can hire for $4 or $5 an hour that can actually do the job for you. Maybe it's just not good for cold calling, because cold calling is a lot of time consuming thing and you actually want them to be very good at what they do. But let's say, for example, if you want a virtual assistant to organize your leads or something like that, you probably get away with like $4 or $5 an hour. So the virtual assistant I hired, she's doing cold calling. I gave her a list of about 5,000 leads. There's 2 numbers on every single lead, and she's calling them, and it's taking a long time, obviously. And even if she's using a triple line dialer, which is she can dial so much more in an hour than she would dial without it. She's working at her own pace, which is fine, and we'll see how it works out. As of right now, she didn't find me any leads because I know the list she started working on was a very tough list. So I decided to go with a house list of an estate properties. Estate properties, if you don't know what estate is, it's somebody passed away, now it's an estate. So a lot of times you don't know who the owner is of the estate. It's kind of hard to find. Sometimes it may not have went to the probate court. So there's a whole lot of things, but so it's hard to find a lead. But if you actually find the lead, a person that's, let's say somebody unfortunately passed away in their family and they don't know what to do with the property, that might be a really good lead. Like, for example, a lot of people pay a lot of money from probate leads. Probate leads are very good quality leads, and people pay like $10 per lead or even more sometimes just to get one lead. That's something that I would like to do in the future. I would like to try to do probate leads when I have a bigger capital. But at the moment, I'm sticking around with my prop stream leads because so far it just seems to work out for me. A couple other things, I'm trying to work on my YouTube channel a lot. I know you guys, we're at 235 as the recording of this video, which is awesome. I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping, you know, we can get 1,000 before the end of the year. I know I probably should release more content, but it's just been so hard and so time consuming, but I'm trying to do my best to make it work. Another thing is that I'm trying to figure out how to do a personal branding on TikTok, and so far no luck, but I'm still trying. I've probably released like 15, 20, 25 videos, maybe even more, and so far I had no luck. So, and it's not that I had no luck even blowing up. I'm not saying that I'll blow up when I do 15, 20 videos. It's that I don't even gain any following, which is kind of sucks. Is that what he tried to do is that I want to gain at least some following. So I'm doing something wrong, but I'm trying different aspects of TikTok and seeing what happens. Another thing is that I'm gonna give you guys a tip. The more I've been doing this, the more I realize the importance of choosing a good title company. I can't specify this enough, I guess, because I literally have a title company that I work with, unfortunately, that the buyer was the one who chose the title company. So the crazy part was with the buyer, we had four different properties that he was gonna buy from me. He did. He bought 3 of them, and the 4th one, it's been in escrow for 2.5 months. That's not normal. The lady that's doing the title is literally probably she's not a bad person. I would hope I don't know, I can't tell. She's not a bad person, but she literally doesn't care about my property, about our property. She doesn't care. She doesn't think it's her most importance, and she doesn't think it's important. When she closed on 3 of the 4 properties, she thought it was good enough. And by the way, it took a month and a half, or maybe even almost 2 months, to close on the other 3. So it's not like she did those fast and then for some reason this one was a problematic. She took forever on all properties. And if you're starting real estate wholesaling, you should know 2 to 3 weeks is pretty good for a title company, and that should be an average, unless there are problems. When there are problems, that can go to a month, month and a half, whatever. And sometimes 2 weeks is kind of fast. That not a lot of title companies can close in 2 weeks. 3 weeks is about a fair time for a title company to close on a property. But there are title companies that will suck, and you should know this, and you should be very careful. You should always have a backup plan and communicate with your buyer, your seller very well, so they understand the situation. Thankfully, in this situation, the buyer and the seller are very understanding, and I'm kind of just trying to keep them calm and make everything work. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna make a lot of money anyway on this deal, but I'm still it's still money, and I would really hope that we can make this work. But you definitely be careful about choosing a title company. Your buyer most of the time will know a title company to choose, but if the buyer is kind of a newer buyer, they may be like, oh, I worked with this title company once and they seem not bad, and they may suck. And then that may be something that there's a different processor, and because some processors, you know, title company is not just one entity, there's a bunch of people that work there, and just like any workplace, some people can suck and some people can be better. So unfortunately, if you get to the person that sucks, that may screw with your money, the buyer's and the seller's money. That's not good. But that's enough about rant about title companies. As of recording of this video, I have 4 properties on the contract that should close within a month. Well, actually 3 that should close within a month, and 1 that should close within 2 because there was a problem. After the property was put on the contract, the buyer realized that for some reason the county is saying this property isn't buildable, which is normally due diligence that I do, but because this land was so typical, like literally there's a bunch of lands on the same street that are the same size, on the same street, nothing special. I was like, well, they have houses, why this one wouldn't? A lot of times, and that's a wrong thing to think, to be honest with you. And you should actually do your due diligence when you do a land every single time. Talk to the county, make sure it's buildable, and all that kind of stuff. What the buyer had to do is pay $200 with the county, and so they're gonna look at it, look at this particular situation, look at this particular land, and see if the land is buildable. That may take up to 60 days, so unfortunately, that deal, even if it does work out, it's about 2 months that they have to postpone it. It is what it is, it's still a deal on the contract. The title company knows, everyone knows, we're just kind of waiting. And then yeah, then I should have a couple deals closing, 1 actually today, and 2 next week, and 1 week after. So hopefully that works out. And hopefully today I'll be putting another property on the contract, and hopefully we'll be promoting it right away. I say hopefully because I never try to say that this will happen, because if I put too much belief in that it will happen, then it doesn't, I'll get really disappointed. So I'm just gonna say hopefully. But either way, I don't wait around for properties. Even though today is supposed to be signing, I'm not sitting and thinking about that property. Your success in this business will be that you won't, let's say you have a $20,000 property under contract that's supposed to close next week or even this week, right? And you're like, okay, now I can chill. Everything is good. I'm about to get 20 grand. But what happens if you don't? What happens? Then you're back to square one. So your success in this business, and probably in many other businesses, will be, no matter if you succeed at a particular moment, is to keep going. So like if you got a property on the contract and you sold it, good job. You know, the success is only a success in the moment of the successful act. I've heard this phrase from somewhere and I actually really like it. So yes, you succeeded, great job. Applaud yourself, move on, do other things. You only become truly successful if you keep doing and keep repeating the successful act many, many times. But enough motivational talk. Again, guys, I really appreciate everyone tuning in into this channel. I really appreciate all of you. If you ever have questions, hit me up on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, any social media works. Please leave a like to this video. I really would appreciate it if you do leave a like if you enjoyed the content. That helps Big Brother YouTube understand that you guys are enjoying the content. And as always, guys,